Hello, everyone. Welcome to Let's Go Marquee, the official film and television extension of the Let's Go podcast. That's pop culture without the pop. As always, I'm one of your co-hosts, Nikko Caruso, and with me, as always, you know him as Zeddy. You know him as a man of many titles, of many puns. He's eccentric, as some would say. He is my entertainment PIC, that's partner in crime, Mr. Nick Zendick, Papa Z _95, Zeddy Mankiewicz. How are you today, brother?
I am him. He is me. Happy to be here. What's up?
Very nice. Very nice.
Very
We're going to talk about that later. So welcome, Nick. Nick, how was your day today?
It was fantastic, brother. Had a great time watching the Critics' Choice Awards last night, and I'm happy to break it down with you, brother. It was a great show for the most part.
So for the most part, it was. In fact, that's, because he sort of let the cat out of the bag here, or as you can see on the title of the video, we're going to be quickly reacting to the winners of the 2021 Critics' Choice Awards, both film and TV. And then we're going to get into the nominations for the Producers Guild of America later. Just the Best Picture, just the 10 of those, because those are a pretty big indicator of what's going to be nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. So that being said, if you're just joining us for the first time, like I said before, we're an extension of the Let's Go Podcast Network. Over at letsgopodcast.com, we talk about movies and TV shows. We review movies and TV shows. We make lists. We rank stuff, and we talk about the award show. So last week, we reacted to the Golden Globes. We did some predictions slightly before that. Today, we're reacting to Critics' Choice. In the next couple of weeks, we'll react to the BAFTA nominations, and then we'll have our Oscar predictions, and we'll respond to the Oscar nominations. Then when the Oscar happens, we'll respond to those. So those are pretty much with some movies sprinkled in from now till the end of April. That's sort of what it's going to look like.
Yep.
But if you also want to know what we do, we have a whole backlog of, I think, 8 episodes of films we've reviewed. And every episode we cover at least 2 or 3. So there's a lot of goodies in there, especially ones that are hot this award season. So stay tuned for those. We got some people in the comments. We got some people watching.
What up, everybody?
Shout out Eric Holzman. Shout out Emmett Davis. I'm not sure why Eric Holzman is like, Ayo, what the F? You so-and-so. So I'm confused. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. We can't be stopped because it's Let's Go for Life. Oh, man.
Nice.
Eric's rapping.
Whoa.
Eric is rapping right now.
Wow.
He is going off. I love it.
Wow.
And we got the Big Grizz. He's the co-host of The Hitch, the trailer show with Zeddy and my co-host for Let's Go Gamers as well. All this stuff is in the Let's Go podcast. You can find us there. But let's just get right into it. So, Nick, the Critics' Choice Awards were yesterday on the glorious CW, best known for some of its DC TV content for all our comic fans watching. We do a lot of comic book based stuff as well. But yesterday was the 2021 Critics' Choice Awards. We follow a lot of critics who were involved in the voting process of this. So it was kind of fun. A few of them were really transparent and shared their entire voting ballots on Twitter and such. It was very cool. This is sort of the more casual one, even though I like it. It's, it's only the 21st one. It's on the CW, runs from 6 to 9. It's Ty Diggs is hosting it for like the 8th year in a row. And this is sort of like the big 4 are the Golden Globes, the BAFTA, the SAGs, and the Oscars. This one's kind of like right there. Not that it doesn't get credit, but I feel like it flies under the radar for a lot of people. The Golden Globes get hyped up. The BAFTAs are in England, so they don't really talk about those. The SAG kind of is here and there, but the Oscars are the big one. So this one's fun. But this one was also easy to predict because you had all the Critics Circle awards throughout the early 2021, end of December 2020. So this one was more fun, and I think there were more things we wanted to see.
Yeah.
And do I still think that some of the stuff is a good indicator for the Oscars? Some of it, yes. Some of it, no. But there was some interesting stuff. So just talk to me about what you thought of the show as a whole. So it was still the Zoom thing. It was still the because it has to be and as it should be. But talk to me about your opinions of the show as a whole, like the presentation, the production, the execution, the jokes, the people, whatever. I don't really know what to say.
No, I thought the show for the most part was pretty well produced. Whoever came up with the idea to do, like you said, the 6 to 9 or 6:30 to 9, I mean, God bless them. I thought the show ran smoothly. It didn't feel overly long. I mean, it ended right on
I'm with you
time,
there.
which is great. It seemed like it was a pretty fast-paced show too. Like nobody really had an overstayed welcome speech. It was kind of like right to the point for the most part. Some of it was awkward though for me. Like I feel like sometimes having just one person standing on stage and moderating all these different virtual screens can kind of be kind of awkward. Like I think there were moments in the show where I think he was trying to be funny, but it kind of just didn't like come off super well for me. And obviously, like internet troubles are gonna be internet troubles. But again, much like we had with the Globes, Nico, when the first kind of interviewee or presenter is glitching out like every 2 seconds, it is kind of nauseating, but it's virtual. It's got to be like it, like you said. But I'm rambling. For the most part, it was a fun show. Like you said, it's a good indicator for what's to come. It's not the only indicator that you should follow, but the fact that we had some different winners, Nico, kind of speaks highly for itself.
Yeah, I for the show as a whole, you know, they're trying. So like I look back on the Globes and Emmys and I feel bad that I like was hard on them. I just still think they can't figure out the virtual thing. I just think it works at the beginning and then it sort of fades as the show goes on. You sort of get tired of it. I mean, it's better than them just announcing awards and no one being there. At least you still get all the stars can dress up and some of the interviews are cool and the jokes try to be funny because they still play off COVID.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not funny. And you're right. There's like, I was really excited for the interview with Riz Ahmed and he couldn't hear him, you know, cause like The Sound of Metal is my favorite film of the year and Riz Ahmed is my favorite performance of the year. So like the fact that he was giving some cool information and Ty Digg was like, yeah, I could read your lips. I could hear you. And it's like, no, you can't. It was really awkward. They try, but I do think the 6:30 or the 6 to 9 runtime was a little better just cause it's not as big of a deal or hyped up or as promoted as say the Golden Globes or the Oscars. So it was sort of easy to get through. It wasn't 10 o'clock. I didn't feel like I had to go to bed right away or whatever to start my week. So it was nice. It was easily digestible. I'll say that. The only thing I didn't like is for some reason the Golden Globes in this, I don't know if they don't time it right, but they like rushed a lot of the technical categories at the end. And there was the awkward cinematography, screenplay, like editing, all that happened like in a quick, like, oh, and here's your winner. And here's your winner. And I'm like, oh, I wanted to see Emerald Fennell talk about, you know, that she won screenplay over Sorkin and Fincher because it's huge, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, they're going to figure it out. I hope by the time they roll around the Oscars, though, I hope they do something different. I mean, it'll be what, the end of April?
April 25th, I believe.
April 25th, something like that. I mean, I know you can't have people in the room, but maybe you get like, because even the nominees, there's so many categories.
Yeah.
Or like you two, like I like what Schitt's Creek did for the Emmys where they had like their own setup.
Yeah.
I think start putting some people in places like that, like put a place where there's like all the directors are there and put all the actors. I bet that costs a lot of money and is unrealistic, but
I mean, I think the Globes, honestly, Nico, kind of had the right idea where it's like, I know it was like essential healthcare workers, but I think something
that
like
was
that,
cool.
I thought
at least having people there. Yeah.
Yep.
It feels
right
weird
idea.
when it's straight up virtual. It was wild.
Yeah.
Actually, Eric Holzman and Daddy B are about to set it up perfectly here because I wanted to start with TV and sort of fly through those really quickly. But so, like we sort of saw at the Globes, it was like the Crown's year. Yeah. So we got Best Drama once again goes to The Crown. Josh O'Connor, excuse me, and Emma Corrin, you know, win the acting awards for drama series. That really wasn't a surprise considering the Globes, and they might follow suit at the Emmys. Gillian Anderson, however you say it, I've heard both, won supporting actress for The Crown. And then some love from Lovecraft Country, but I want to give you the floor here. Talk about Ted Lasso.
Oh, yes. Yes, the 3 for 3 sweep, Nico, the one that I was waiting for. We had Best Actor, Best Actress, and Best Comedy for TV, as it should be. Ted Lasso is. It's a shame that I saw it before I made my prediction because it is my number one favorite TV show of 2020. And yes, I'm
That's
putting that
huge.
over The Queen's Gambit. Unfortunately, Nico, it's just how it falls. It was lightning in a bottle. Sudeikis absolutely deserves it. All of that cast deserves it. It was fantastic, and it's a shame that the Globes didn't give Ted Lasso the other love that I thought it deserved. But Queen's Gambit is still the best limited series of 2020. But in terms of like best comedy, Nico, it's hands down Ted Lasso.
I'm
It was
happy
the
for
rightful
you.
winner.
I was very happy for you. A shout out to Anderson, who is in the comments, but he's got to head out. But I'm
Have a
going
great
to
night, Matt.
read some of your stuff here. Thank you for tuning in a little bit. I'm going to get into that when we get into the film because you're right. And you're right that the best Zoom award show that they did was the Emmys. At least it had some more to it than these other ones.
Yeah.
Shout out to Matt Anderson. You might be hearing him and seeing his face on the show very soon. Stay tuned. So happy for Ted Lasso. I'm also happy for Catherine O'Hara and Dan Levy. So the Schitt's Creek still got its love in there.
No
Schitt's
shocker
Creek.
there.
It was Ted Lasso this time around. Took one more acting and took the show and took the comedy series award, which I'm fine with. I still have to watch it. I'm just glad that Dan and Catherine got their wins as well. Well deserved. The Schitt's Creek momentum is still going, and not even Ted Lasso can slow it down completely. Not completely, Nick.
Wait till
Schitt's
season
Creek
2.
will keep
Wait
going.
till season 2.
Well, yeah, because now
Don't
Schitt's
worry.
Creek done, except for after the SAGs, then you're going to see no more of
yeah.
Schitt's Creek. So the other couple highlights for TV is John Boyega winning again, actor in a limited series or TV movie. I thought that was awesome for him. I thought it was very, very cool. The other thing I wanted to talk about is I didn't see this last night, and so I'm live reacting to it right now. But Hamilton won TV movie.
It did.
Really?
Yes, it did.
Over Bad Education.
Yep.
Or Sylvie's Love.
Yep.
That's stupid. I'm mad at that. Guys, no disrespect to Hamilton. I haven't seen the musical, but I've listened to it and now I've watched it. And I was so hyped on Hamilton in college. The roommates of mine, we would play it all the time. We learned the raps. We did everything. We even did a small talent show thing where we did Aaron Burr, or we did the whole thing. I love the cast. I love Lin, what he did, what he wrote. But man, it is not a movie. It is not a TV movie. It is a recording of a Broadway play. It is just a recording. It is not a film. I don't care if they use different angles and cuts, whatever. It is not a film. And it was from 5 freaking years ago. Guys, let's reward actors for now. Please reward actors. There are so many actors and actresses and directors and writers and producers who made stuff for this year, songwriters, etc. And it's like, why do we need to shake up Lin-Manuel Miranda again? Is it because Odom is going to steal the show? Like, he's in Oscar films now and Lin's not, so they wanted to give Lin back up there. God darn. I mean, no disrespect to Hamilton. I love Hamilton. It is one of the most brilliant productions in American culture on the stage and in entertainment. It really is. It's so important. It's so well done. It's so smart. It's so creative, but it shouldn't be here this year. Shout out to Eric Holzman for agreeing. I agree it should be for In the Heights because they're making that a movie. They are making that a movie. And so, yes, I would love to see In the Heights. I haven't seen it or heard it, but I'm high on it. And I'm happy that Anthony Ramos is going to star in it, Eric. So I'm really excited for that. If you've seen it, tell me how it is because I haven't.
It comes out later in the year.
I have no experience. It was going to come out earlier though, right? But it got delayed because COVID.
It's on the HBO Max day and day.
So, but that's just my thing. And of course, Queen, Anya Taylor-Joy.
Just a star.
Anya Taylor-Joy. We bow down to you for actress in limited series and The Queen's Gambit, which was the best television series of last year as well.
Correct.
She's got the Golden Globes. She's got this. She's going to get the SAG. She's going to get the Emmy back, not back, forward in September, and it will win best limited series, et cetera, et cetera. It will be going up against WandaVision, and it will beat WandaVision next Emmys, but that's okay. She's and can we cast her in everything? Cast her in everything. I want her to play every role of all time. She's great. And I truly mean that from a talent standpoint. What she does in that series is incredible. I'm glad she's winning everything. In fact, if she doesn't win anything, it's going to be, Eric says he's getting Ewok and C-3PO vibes from these bows. That's a great reference there. That's a great
Eric's on
there.
fire tonight, man.
Eric Holzman is that guy.
Wow.
I know, I'm not sure if you were as big on Mrs. America as I was, but
yeah,
Uzo won supporting actress in a limited series or TV movie. I think that's cool. I would have given it to the whole cast of Mrs. America, so it's hard for me.
I mean, like, everybody was nominated, so
see, but then I'm biased. Like, I'm mad that Rose Byrne didn't get nominated because Rose Byrne has more screen time than the three people nominated. And she was sort of the co-lead with Cate Blanchett. So I'm sort of mad she's the only one who didn't get love, but that's okay. I'll get over it. I'm mad. I just finished, Nick, I May Destroy You. And I think that show is like the second or third best TV series of last year. So
yeah.
I still give it to The Queen's Gambit, but man, I wish I May Destroy You got some more love, but she was going up against Anya and Queen's Gambit. So I couldn't change my mind there. Anything else in TV you want to talk about? I really don't see.
I mean, other than
else.
Everybody just get ready because Netflix is probably going to renew the Crown for 5 more seasons. It's going to continue to dominate.
Well, I think there's only one more because they're telling the story in order. So
yeah,
I think there's only one more, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe there's 2 more.
I thought
it has an ending. I think you're right. I think it's 6 because they're telling this linear story. And like now they're at Princess Diana. So I assume they're going to get to the point where she dies.
Yes. I think that was,
God rest her soul, et cetera, et cetera. No win for Tom Pelphrey. That pissed me off. I forgot. I just thought
none of them won. None of them won. Which was shocking.
It's 2. So they are gonna do the Harry and Meghan story. That would be crazy.
That'll probably be the last season. I would assume so.
Eric, who would you cast as them? I want to know.
Let us know in the comments.
They're sort of getting Zeddy, let's move on to film. That's sort of the main reason why we're doing this, and we've already been talking for 18 minutes.
Sure.
Let
Ozark
me start. Ozark. Let's start with I think the rightful something that happened that we both were very happy about, that we both believe should have happened at the Golden Globes, is that the actual best comedy won best comedy, which was Palm Springs. So you were Palm Springs, brilliant film. You were even more high on it than I was. Talk about Palm Springs.
Yeah,
and what you felt when that won.
I mean, I was over the moon. I mean, I still think that Palm Springs should have won the Globe. It was such a travesty that it didn't. It's even with all the films that came out, Nico, it still sits in my top 5 of 2020. I just think that it's
awesome.
Great. It was the perfect quarantine film that I watched last year. It was like a lightning in the bottle comedy film that I just had an absolute ball with. I'm glad that it won for best comedy movie because it is a movie, for Christ's sakes. Yes.
I love Borat too, but the more I'm starting to be more frustrated with its win and Sasha's win, and he won again. I'm starting to be more frustrated with that because I was listening to a podcast I really like called Oysters, Clams, and Cockles. Shout out to Ross Bolin in the RBP podcast network.
Nice.
He was like, he liked Borat too, but this guy's been playing the character for like 15 years because he was doing skits about it before the first Borat.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like a role he's always played in his whole life. And now it's sort of being treated as a serious movie because of the political stuff. And now he's getting acting awards for it when he's played the role so many times. So I get it. So I love him as Borat. I love Sacha Baron Cohen. I truly think he's one of the most artistic people. Eric, Watermelon Sugar is a great song. I think I think I love him, and he has a great. He wants change, and he's a pretty great activist. But I mean, I look at like Andy Samberg, who like probably should have won, and Palm Springs should have won the Globe too. But to each his own. It's like you always say, Nick. You've coined this back from early episodes of the shows. It's usually like there's a couple people every year where it's like their year, or they try to make it their year.
Yep.
So
nothing you can do about it.
It's the year of Sacha Baron Cohen, because like when Trial won, and rightfully so. I mean, because it had the biggest ensemble. I get it. So Trial of the Chicago 7 won ensemble, but like Sacha Baron Cohen was the one accepting it. But like Redmayne, Strong, and all them were there. It showed them on the video, but Sasha was the only one who sort of talked for it. So it's like, oh, let's put Sacha Baron Cohen front and center, and let's let him win multiple times tonight. So shout out to him. He's great, but I'm at least glad Palm Springs won comedy film as a whole. Other thing I want to talk about is Alan Kim won Best Young Actor.
Oh my God.
And he starts crying. That is so pure of heart.
Wow. That
was the best thing I've seen all year. He's a little actor. He steals the movie. He's the heart and soul of one of the most beautiful films of the decade, Minari. Certainly, in my opinion, probably it has now reached the level in my mind where I think it's A24's best film. I could have given Ensemble to them. That was my choice, but I give it to Trial. He cries during the awards just because he's such a man.
He's a child.
An industry, in an industry that has been so corrupt and sexualized and self-obsessed, like to see just like a child actor win and be moved to tears because it means something for him and his family's crying with him. It was gorgeous. And that one for foreign film as well, which it's not a foreign film, but it keeps getting put in that category. So it wins just to show you how the award shows still are crappy and do that. But the Oscars won't do it because it'll rightfully get a Best Picture nomination. Speak Now won, Nick. We were happy. That was our prediction for Golden Globe. It didn't happen. Now it happens. Talk to me about Speak Now. Leslie Odom Jr. in a place where a Hamilton person should have been recognized. This is it.
Yeah, completely on the money. If Hamilton's going to win for anything, yes, let it win for song, because, I mean, it's the one that makes the most sense for that category, right? But, I mean, Leslie Odom Jr. winning for Best Song, I thought is fantastic, because it's probably one of the locks that I'm expecting to carry over come Oscar season, just because the song really does speak to you. I mean, it's a pivotal moment in a movie that I thought is well-deserved. I thought Leslie Odom's speech was great. Leslie Odom Jr., excuse me. I thought his speech was great. And I'm honestly, don't know why I was expecting more love for One Night in Miami, but if this is the consistent love that it's going to get, I'm okay with it. But yeah, how about you? How did you feel about it?
I was happy. It was the song I wanted. It's my favorite song of the group. We picked it for the Globes. I wanted it. Let's get into these first, because two of them we knew and two of them were a shock. So talk to me about the big four acting awards.
Wow. Yeah. So off the top of my head, obviously there's one. I know Maria Baklava winning was
that was huge,
super huge for me. Just because I didn't think that she was gonna win that at all. I mean, I was really anticipating Andra Day to kind of take it again. But how about you? Do you have any off the top of your head? Because I'm drawing a blank, actually, that in terms of standouts.
Well, I'm happy for Baklava a lot because she lost for comedy actress, which was like a shock. So for her to win in supporting over a Coleman, over Young Jong-yu, over Glenn Close, big, right? And I still think she may or may not get that Oscar nomination. She might. I don't know. It's going to be hard, but she's great. And then we got, Chadwick Boseman and Daniel Kaluuya, which were staples. And then Chadwick Boseman's life gives another touching speech. But man, where I'm the most happy was Carey Mulligan. So talk about Carrie.
Yeah, Carrie Mulligan's been like the dark horse kind of all season long, right? We're thinking that Promising Young Woman is like that one that's gonna carry all this team kind of like between the beginning of the year and Oscar season, and rightfully so, it deserves it. But Nico, Carrie Mulligan taking home that award is absolutely huge because now everything has changed, and I'm thinking that this is gonna be huge for her come April, come Oscar season, because she absolutely deserves it. I mean, all those other people in those categories are phenomenal, but what Carrie Mulligan does in Promising Young Woman is like the definition of an Oscar winning like actress. It's just the way it is. And then that even winning screenplay, Nico. Now that one, that's a big shocker to me. So I don't know if that's what you wanted to just jump right in right now, but that one was like the scream in your house moment. So
Dude, I did scream in my house for that. Ask my father in the comments, he could attest to it. If you look up range in the dictionary, you'll see Carrie's face from Promising Young Woman. I definitely think that she gave the most versatile performance of everyone in the category. While she may not have been the most like fiery or standout, I think in every sense of the word, she showed the most acting ability and acting talent. In terms of everything she had to do was play multiple personalities in there. She had to change herself a lot. And she's the Oscar frontrunner right now for actress, and rightfully damn so. And you know what, man? I did scream when Sorkin loses to Fennell for a screenplay. That's huge because you know what? Now I'm seeing this is sort of like Jojo Rabbit last year. He started to win screenplay towards the end,
great point.
towards the middle, and then he wins the Academy Award when everyone thought it was going to I forget. Everyone thought it was automatically going to go to Little Women last year, but JoJo was like, nope. So you know what, man? Promising Young Woman win screenplay. I jumped up. I was yelled. I'm like, that's huge. That's so big. So now I absolutely think a Best Picture nom is a lock for Promising Young Woman, and Carrie Mulligan is the front runner. I think now it's a real debate for original screenplay between Sorkin and Fennell for Promising Young Woman, and I'm so down for it. And my sleeper to win Best Picture is Promising Young Woman. That's not going to happen. But my sleeper to win at the Oscars is Promising Young Woman or Minari. But
we don't know though. We don't know. I mean,
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking like
well, we know because
we know, but I'm thinking
because talk about our queen, our goddess, Chloe Zhao.
I mean, it's gonna be Nico. It's gonna be a nice like three-way tie now, which is interesting because I'm glad that now we're getting in like the nitty-gritty where it's not just one film that we're thinking is gonna just take it all the way, which is ultimately gonna end up happening. But it's nice to know that there's this kind of glimmer of hope that this film could sneak in there and steal it, a la 1917 and Parasite. Like, it seems like we kind of have a little bit of that going on again, Nico, which to me kind of looks like. But yeah, so our goddess, our queen here, the next big thing, the next breakout star in all of Hollywood, Chloe Zhao, taking home Best Director, and then Nomadland taking Best Picture, which should come to no surprise to no one.
No surprise.
It's been the one thing that's been winning everything all award season, and it's probably going to continue until April 25th. So,
and that won't change. I still think it winning the Globe was bigger than this because I still think it's too artsy for them to vote for it for Best Picture, but it's one of those years. I think it's one of those years. She's not losing director. That's solidified, set in stone, but I still feel like Picture might go to trial, or I think Promising Young Woman, like I said, is this year's Jojo Rabbit, where there was actually thought last year that Jojo Rabbit was going to slide in and take it from both 1917 and Parasite. But I think Promising Young Woman is going to get screenplay. I think Zhao gets director and picture, if not at least director, and then Trial wins picture. I think is what I would do right now.
Oscar predictions, like you think I is going to beat out Sorkin?
I do because I think that movie is starting, as much as I loved it and you loved it, I think that movie's starting to fade for voters. And
Good
the
point.
fact that because I know critics weren't really big on it, so that's why it lost last night. But I could see, I
Mhm.
mean, they're campaigning, promising young woman hard. And if,
Yeah.
she's the lead choice for actress, that bodes well for the movie too.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of any other big standouts here. I think we touched them all. I mean, Chris Nolan, of course, was able to win one thing. He won effects for Tenet.
Yeah.
Shout to Chris Nolan.
Um,
Shout to Chris Nolan, and score went to Soul. So
obviously
any
he's going to
surprises there?
Saul. Yeah. No, I mean it's Soul's still the best score that came out of 2020. I mean, it's obvious, Nico, that if Soul's not gonna win, clearly whoever composed the composers are gonna win from Mank because they're going to those guys. It's just it's in the question. But Mank winning
Reznor and Ross. Yeah.
yeah. Mank actually wins something, Nico.
Yeah, I
It
won
wins
something.
production design,
I won production
which
design.
is probably
It
gonna
was
be
gorgeous.
which
Yeah,
is
it was
probably gonna be the
gorgeous.
one thing that it wins come Oscar season, which I'm okay with. Honestly, I am okay with that. Obviously, ensemble, Nico, I would have preferred to see like a Minari kind of come out on top with that, or a One Night in Miami,
Those were my
specifically.
two that I would have preferred.
But of course, it's gonna go to Trial of Chicago 7 because it's like you just said, Nico. It's more or less likely it's Trial of Chicago 7 versus Nomadland, probably versus Promising Young Woman. That's what I'm thinking the three-way tie is. But this is getting interesting. This is getting interesting. But and then again, Daniel Kaluuya winning again. I mean, just we've already been saying just mail the Oscar to his house. It's not that one's not changing. I don't think Boseman's changing as
No, it's
much
not
as I would
changing.
have loved to have seen Riz Ahmed
I know.
take
That was
something. And then Paul Lacey, one of them. I would have loved to have seen him
well.
take something. But
They
Sound of
both
Metal
were
gets
losing.
something.
I know.
Sound of
It
Metal
did.
got something, Nico.
It did.
Yes, a tie, but we'll count it. We'll
It's
take
still
it.
one.
It's still
Got
one.
editing, which I'm impressed because Trial has been the best edited film of years. So the fact that Sound of Metal was able to snatch a tie there, I think it might, dude. That would be cool if it won editing at the Oscars. I don't think it will. I think it's gonna be stuck with just winning sound design and sound mixing, etc. But rightfully so. That's the most effective part
If
of the
it
whole movie
loses
is
the
the
sound category and the name is Sound of
sound of
Metal,
metal.
I'm gonna break a wall, literally.
I'm also holding out hope though that Sound of Metal still gets a Best Picture nomination because is there anything else you want to talk about Critics' Choice Awards? Because we pretty much talked about every single thing.
No, I mean it was obviously like it's gonna be interesting because I don't think News of the World I'm thinking is gonna get pushed out of awards contention because Helena Zengel did not win. Hanks is nowhere to be seen, and I don't think people are as high as News of the World anymore. So and then obviously Minari is still the one to kind of keep your eye on, though I don't see it really winning too much, Nico, which is unfortunate because it's a film that on any other given year is like something that can potentially sweep awards, but
Yeah.
it's just again, Nico, it just amazes me that even in this really like crappy year of entertainment that we've had, how stacked just everything is right now, where there's certain things that are still predictable, there's certain things that are not changing, but at the same time it's still a stacked year, and I love that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to close with the PGA nominations. And sort of like I teed up, I said I was hopeful for Sound of Metal for a Best Picture nomination. And now I'm even more because Sound of Metal found its way into the Best Picture PGA nominations for the PGA Award. So let me just quickly run through those, Nick.
Yeah.
There is, so it's cool to see Sound of Metal in there. Like you said, News of the World is absent from this, which is a big deal because this is usually a good predictor of at least a majority of the Best Picture nominees at the Oscars. So I'm going to say the wild one last. We got Judas and the Black Messiah, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Mank, Minari, Nomadland, One Night in Miami, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and Trial of the Chicago 7. So nothing surprising yet until Borat's subsequent movie film gets a PGA nomination for the PGA Award for Best Picture. It's 100% because of the political drive of the movie and the timeliness and the commentary. I get that. While Stats and Matt Anderson will politely remind me that even though it gets this, the comedy films still don't usually end up in there. It almost never happens. It quite literally almost never happens, but that's big. And man, they're really touting Cohen this year, huh? No disrespect, but man, they really everyone loves Sacha Baron Cohen this year. The producers love him.
Mm-hmm.
So any thoughts on that list?
No, I mean, it's just like you just said, it's shocking that Borat out of like something over like a soul kind of sneaks in there. Like I'm almost like this is where I would see like Pixar Soul kind of sneak in there. But yeah, the year of Sacha Baron Cohen. I mean,
it's the year of Sacha Baron
and it's just crazy, Nico, because even like when everybody is talking about like how great he is in Borat, it's almost like he's getting the love for Trial of Chicago 7, and it's almost like I don't know if it's like a catch-22 because he should be getting the love for Borat, but he's getting the love for the movie that he arguably wasn't really the best performance in.
It was Bakalova.
So, but
it was Maria,
and I still think that there's like 3 other people that are better than Sacha in Trial 7, but that's just me. He's still terrific in the movie.
I would say 4 are better than
but yeah, I mean, but
I would say
it's crazy.
I would say if he ends up, because he probably will get the Oscar nomination, if he gets it and Bakalova doesn't, I'm gonna have problems. But I still think she's gonna get it. I think this is the year where
get it.
I think this is a year they do it because they love her, and she was incredible.
Now, do you think that she pushes out Andra Day in the actress category?
Andra Day's lead.
That's right.
So
I always
Andra
get supporting and lead.
I know. Andra Day's probably going to be the 5th because she won the Globe. So your lead is going to be Day, McDormand, Kirby, Carey Mulligan, and Davis. And I think supporting is going to be Close, Coleman.
Isn't Seyfried?
I think the Academy's going to give it to her. And then I'm saying Bakalova and Yoon from Minari.
Yeah.
That's me. I know Amy Adams got the SAG, but I don't think so.
Don't think so.
And Jodie Foster won the Globe. I know. So I don't know. But
yes, Mark Rylance is who I would have picked.
He is the best performance in the movie. Followed by.
I would have given it to Redmayne too. I know that's
followed by Langella for me. It goes Rylance, Langella, Redmayne, Yaya, Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah,
in my opinion, for Trial.
Sure.
I would have. We had Rylance if when
Marquee
Eric
Awards,
and I did Eric Holzman and I, we reviewed Trial on our other podcast, the Vigilante 1939, and then when Zeddy and I talked about it, I think we both said Rylance would have been our pick to get nominated, but we feel like Cohen was going to get it, and then that kind of happened. And we didn't want to be right, but Rylance is the best performance in that film. He's just not popular as much, and it wasn't the year of Sacha Baron Cohen. But yeah, dude, if Cohen gets it, which he will, and Bakalova doesn't, I'm gonna freak out. And if Jared Leto is anywhere to be found and not Paul Raci, I'm gonna lose my mind. I still am holding out hope that Lindo gets in too, but that's a different show. I'm glad Sound of Metal's in here. I think if this is the year they extend it to 10, which they haven't yet, it always stops at 9. I think Sound of Metal's still on the outside looking in unless it gets a screenplay nomination, which I don't think it will.
Any other given year.
But Borat, I don't necessarily buy for an Oscar nomination for Best Picture, but I will say Judas, Ma Rainey, Mank, Minari, Nomadland, One Night, Promising Young Woman, Trial. And I do think, Nick, I think News of the World is still going to get one because they won't let a Tom Hanks film. If Zangle is nominated, I think they're going to give it to that one. But if not, it's Soul or Sound of Metal. And the fact that Soul's not in the PGA is crazy. So Borat's in above Soul and News of the World.
Which shocks me.
Which means they have those two movies like 11th or 12th or even lower than
Yeah.
that, which is crazy. Emmett, I think you're right about the Delroy thing about his Trump loving. Is that actually? I didn't think about that till now.
Well, it's
Shout out to Chris Evans who just got in here, my man.
Shout out Chris, yeah. And then it's funny that you mentioned the whole Emmett mentions the political his political views, because it seems to be working for somebody else, but not
it works in
somebody else,
yeah.
So it's almost like it's that's Hollywood.
His dad says Tom Hanks with Z's. He's sort of
come on, Mr. C, you have to watch News of the World. It's gonna be a great late night watch for you, sir.
It's like the Ford v Ferrari of last year. No disrespect.
Don't get me started.
It's just that good movie that just like everyone was like, yeah, it was good, but
Ford v Ferrari was the most snubbed movie of that year, and I will sit on that hill. I don't care.
I will let you live on that hill. Go ahead. So I wanna answer Eric's question.
Have you seen Ford vs Ferrari yet?
Me?
Yes.
No. But I will.
I'm buying you the 4K, and you are gonna watch it, or the Blu-ray.
Really?
I'm gonna buy you the Blu-ray. Yes, and you are gonna watch it. Yes.
I don't know if I want to. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I'll watch it. Where is it? It's on Apple, right? Or is it?
I think it's on HBO Max.
Is it on HBO Max? That's even better.
So. I think
that's even better. That's even better. All right. So I want to answer Eric's favorite question. Or not Eric's favorite question. Eric's question, which Nick is, what is your favorite flavor of Girl Scout cookies? I have to answer that.
I'm a Thin Mint guy.
You are a Thin Mint. Shout out to Andy Luca who just got in here. I'm in a great group with him that I will not talk about, but Andy Luca has welcomed me into a beautiful group of people who only talk about art and visionary wonders. That's how I'm going to describe it.
That's awesome.
If you know, you know. It's not what I just said. It's something completely different. But shout out to Andy Luca, good friend of Pete Illustrated. That's Pete Vera, the Paisans. So you are a Thin Mint guy, Nick.
Yes.
So Eric might freak out on this because I feel like he's asking because he thinks we're gonna have the same one. So I have a 3-way tie between the trefoils, which are the very plain shortbread ones. I actually had some here I was eating last night. I like the Sonomas.
Nice.
I think those it's the coconut ones.
Yeah.
And I like the chocolate with the peanut butter on the inside.
Oh, those are great.
Those are my big 3. I personally, no disrespect, put the Thin Mints more in the middle. I think while they are the most popular one, I think those other 3 do more for me personally. Sure. If I had to pick one, I pick the coconut ones because they go beautiful with some coffee. The tag-alongs, you're right. Are those the peanut butter ones, Eric? That's like the peanut butter sandwich, sort of like a Ritz Bit.
Ritz
Bits. Those are good too. Oh, wait, Eric, those are good too. Those are great. I don't like the lemon ones. And Andy, you are damn right. Instant family, only high art and high art only. Shout out to Andy Luca. Shout out to everyone watching. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Yeah. Sorry, we're gonna wrap up. I know a few of you just came on, but Eric just said yes and no. I'm confused. Those were subsequent messages. Just like very nice Borat movie film. Zeddy, when we wrap up here, give me your one no guts, no glory Oscar prediction. One. It could be of something getting nominated or something of winning.
I'm gonna say that Chadwick Boseman wins Best Actor. I don't think that one's changing. I think Kaluuya is still gonna win Supporting Actor. Nikko, I'm gonna ride the No Man Land train. I think it's taking it all the way. How about you?
My big prediction is my 2 because you did like 3, so I'm gonna do 2. I'll do 3 too. I'll do 3 too. No.
I never,
I'll do 3 too. My big no guts, no glory predictions is Bakalova gets supporting nomination. Fennell wins screenplay for Promising Young Woman.
I love that.
And Paul Raci he replaces Jared Leto.
Okay.
That's my guess for supporting actor nomination. Those are my three. If those three things even happen, I'll be very, very pleased with this year's Oscar, because we know Zhao's winning director. So, and we know Kalula and Boseman are winning. So I am not going to predict Mulligan yet, because I still think, like I said, pre-Globes, I think there's going to be a different winner multiple times. Chris Evans, you are right. Promising Young Woman should win Best Picture.
It should,
because I think for how big it got and for what it does, it is kind of like a Best Picture winner for me. It feels like last year's Parasite in a way, the way it genre bends. Even though I think Parasite's a masterpiece. I don't think Promising Young Woman's a masterpiece, but I think it's very, 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 very good. The Bears are trading for Sam Darnold. Are they really?
Wait, are they really?
I'll have to look at this later.
Breaking news live on Let's Go Marquee.
But I feel like Eric just might be saying that to sidetrack us.
Listen, Eric, I love you, man.
Shout out to everyone who came and watched. We love you all. You guys are great supporters for keeping our little small show going, and we'll put this up tomorrow to try to promote, etc. Zeddy, where can the people find you?
Nikko, thank you so much again. This was a great time, as it always is, reacting to these award shows. You know, I love tracking all this, as crazy as it is.
Absolutely.
It still feels wild that we still have to wait a whole another month for the Oscars, but you know what? I'm here for it. I love it. But if you're watching live, my Twitter handle has been there the whole time. It's PapaZ_95. You can follow me at somebody's favorite letterbox at Zeddy Films, where I try and review one film a week to keep everything up to date. You can catch all my film and TV reviews at letsgopodcast.com. I just had one up for United States versus Billie Holiday, which is on Hulu, which is a film that I wasn't too high on, but I appreciated the performance of Andra Day. And obviously, you can follow the Hitched, the official movie and TV trailer show that I co-host with Emmett Davis. And then obviously, you can follow The Vigilante 1939, which I'll let Nikko elaborate a little more on. Thank you as always, sir.
Yes, dude, you are the man. Thank you for being here.
I'd like to differ, but I think you're the man.
We can both be the man tonight. How about that one?
I love it.
You can follow me at Nikko Caruso on Twitter, Instagram, and somebody else's favorite letterbox, because Zeddy is your favorite. I don't have a fancy name for it. It's just at Nikko Caruso. You can follow our other podcast, the one that we co-host with my father as well, the one that got us started, the one why we're here. It's the Vigilante 1939 podcast. It is a comic book superhero genre based podcast that's DC leaning, but we get into everything. We're talking WandaVision, and we're doing something special. We're doing something special on Friday for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Go follow that. We're almost at 400. We are at 450 followers. We're on the push to 500 followers, which means we're going to need 40 something, but we never thought we'd get there. So it's amazing. Thank you for that. You can follow all my TV and film reviews at the letsgopodcast.com as well. I'm doing WandaVision. I just wrapped it up, and then you'll see my review for Nomadland coming very, very soon. And then you'll see my review for Tom Holland's Cherry coming out next Friday. So we'll see whatever I feel about that movie. It's apparently it's either very good or the worst movie of all time. We'll see about that. I co-host a video game show with the Big Grizz, Emmett Davis. We have a special crossover episode of that. It's a video game based show at the end of the month with some other friends from Canada. Wink, wink. You're going to love what's happening there. And did I forget something? And I do this with Nick Zeddy. And we have a great time doing
everything else that we got going on.
Follow everything else. There's a lot of stuff at the Let's Go podcast. There's comic reviews. There are show reviews. There are movie reviews. There's Music Monday still. There's Let's Go Comic Show, et cetera, et cetera. Shout out all under the guidance of the man, the myth, the legend, Jay Rocca, Justin Kowalski.
Mr. J.
Who we need to protect from the Snyder Bros out there. He's getting attacked, so everyone protect him and protect all
be
of
a
our
Zeddy,
friends,
not a Zeddy.
because it's going to be a Zeddy, not a Zaddy. You're right. But I also like Zach's vision, so I also want the movie to do well. Anyway, for us both, thank you all for joining. Stay tuned. Tell us what you thought. Tell us if we were right, if we were wrong, if we were dumb, if we were smart, whatever. And watch all the movies we've been talking about and all the shows we've been talking about. They're all good. And in the time where we still have to stay home, I think they're going to bring you immense joy. So for Zeddy and myself, let's go.
Hey, Nikko.
What?
Let's go.
We live in a society.
Let's go.